with Apex Legends Season 19 being out now, we got a bunch of legend balance changes, and we also got a brand new support legend to the game called Conduit. We're going to be ranking all the legends in this video. It's going to be mainly a solo queue tier list for either pubs or mainly ranked, so keep that in mind. Without further ado, let's hop right into this. If you guys missed my Season 18 legend tier list, I'll leave a link to that in the video. You guys can go check it out. I also do stream Apex Legends over here on YouTube and sometimes over on Twitch. Links to my Twitch in the description down below. And if you guys not want to miss when I'm live over here, I also stream a bunch of other stuff like Overwatch 2 and a few other things. Subscribe if you are new so you do not miss when I'm live and when I upload new videos. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, I'll throw the list on screen for you guys right now. It's going to be a typical list. S tier is the stuff that needs to be nerfed in some way, and that's like the stuff that you're going to be must-picking every single game. A+ is your above average stuff. A is the stuff that's balanced. These are legends that are all balanced. I don't think they really need any changes. B is kind of below average. C is very situational. D tier is borderline unplayable. And then there's F tier, but spoiler, I don't think there's a single legend in the entire game right now that I think is like unplayable. So F tier won't be used in this. So at least balance wise, that's a good thing. There's not like an unplayable legend, so that's always a great thing to see. That being said, I don't actually have Conduit on this list, but I'll hopefully edit it into the video where I probably put Conduit on there. But let's talk about Conduit a little bit. Conduit's the most recent support legend of the game. She's really fun. I really do like Conduit. At least as a character, I think she's really cool. At least character-wise, just like aside from like her entire kit and what she does, I think she's a really cool character. She has a really cool design. Her kit's really good. I think she's one of those, like, the only support in the game, and I think she brings an entire new thing to the game, at least for the support categories, being like a support that's able to like fight with your team. She's more of like a squishy, I wouldn't really say like a squishy support, but more of like a combat type support. A lot of the other supports in the game are either passive or they're kind of playing with their team in the back line, that type of thing, or they're there to kind of support their team when they make plays and that type of thing. But her kit is meant for her to actually be able to fight with your team. You got the shield regeneration, you're able to give somebody shields and that type of thing when they're fighting. They also get siphoned, which is crazy good. I think the best thing about her is probably her tactical. And she also has a really good passive where I think it's a decent movement speed boost. I don't know the exact percentage of a movement speed boost, but pretty much what you get is you get a movement speed boost if you're a certain distance away from your teammates. All you have to do is just be looking at them, and then you get a movement speed boost. So she does kind of lack mobility, but technically she has mobility with a movement speed boost. It's just not like any type of vertical mobility like some of the other legends or a few other support legends might have. Which is still, it's not bad, but it's still not crazy good. It's kind of just average. And then she has a really solid ult, which she throws down. It's pretty much kind of like an Ashe ult, but kind of like an AoE. It's with shield batteries or Titan batteries. Not really shield batteries, but like Titan batteries. She makes an AoE. It takes about like, I think 5 seconds to fully deploy, and it's AoE. If somebody stands in it, they take 10 damage, and I think their shield is siphoned away or something. I'm not 100% sure on the like how much exactly is siphoned away and that type of thing, but it's mainly just like an AoE ult. I think the weakest part about her is probably her ult. But if I were to rank Conduit on this, at least at the start of the season, I'd probably put her in A tier. I think she's the most balanced legend the game has seen in quite a while. I really do. I think the only thing I would maybe change with her is her ult deploy time. I feel like her ult deploy time is a little slow and it takes a long time to actually deploy and fully set up. That would be like the only thing I would actually change with her. But apart from that, if you guys have not played Conduit yet, I think she's still really good. And if you guys are not playing her, check her out. She's really fun to play. At least for me, I don't really play that many supports. Support's probably like my least played like role ever since they added like the roles type thing to the game. Like the only other support I maybe play once in a while is like Mirage or Loba. I don't really play a lot of the supports, so having a support now with Conduit being a support that actually fits my playstyle and that I can actually play, I think is really good. And she's definitely probably going to be my most played support, at least so far, because I love playing her and she really fits my playstyle, at least for me. And especially if you're solo queuing, I think she's really good solo queuing. I really do. So keep that in mind as well. I'd probably put her like an A tier. That being said, let's get to some of the other legends. I'm not going to talk a crazy amount by like some of the legends in this because a lot of them didn't really change. I'm just going to kind of briefly mention some of them and kind of where they are. And there's a few of them that got some balance changes that I'll talk about, but I don't want to make this video incredibly long because we did not really get like many crazy changes that would really shake stuff up. Just a few like minor changes to a few legends. We have Ash. I probably put Ash like a B tier. I feel like Ash is a little bit lacking right now compared to some of the other legends, especially in the category she's in. I don't know what they would actually change with her. I feel like her tactical is a little bit weak, and it's mainly just there to either get poke damage for your evil shield, or kind of just to scout enemy shields most of the time. Sometimes they'll use in a 1v1, and if you can actually catch somebody and actually snare them, it's huge, but a lot of the time people are just able to avoid it because it either moves too slow or it's just really easy to avoid a lot of the time, even at like close range. And then I think her ult, especially the phase tear, I think it actually needs a little bit more range or something, or like a faster travel speed. I'm not 100% sure what they would actually do, but I feel like Ashe needs a few small buffs. She's kind of fallen behind in the game right now. Not really unplayable. I think she's still really good. I still love playing her. She's one of my favorite legends to play, but I think she's still really good. But I feel like there's just a lot better options to play right now. Ballistic, I think, is in the same category. He was really busted on release, and then people kind of learned how to actually play against him, and he's just kind of fallen off. His entire kit's based around gunplay, and if you're not really that good at gunplay or like have crazy aim to begin with, like his kit's not going to save you. Even with having like a third weapon in your sling and having a sling weapon, it's still not going to do very much. Like there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it, like you can fully charge a rampage and stuff, but I think the best thing about him is either his ult and I guess maybe his tactical. If you can use it in a 1v1, it's guaranteed like win versus somebody in a 1v1 because they're going to overheat their weapon. You can get a free kill basically. But apart from that, I feel like he's kind of B tier right now. Bangalore got some nerfs. I still think she's crazy good. I think I would actually nerf her again. It's funny enough. I think Bangalore is still really, really good. Even they nerfed her smoke duration and like the stun on her ult and like one or two other little things. And I think it was her double time got nerfed. Like she's still incredibly good. Nothing with her's changed. The nerfs were not nearly enough to knock her away. And if anything, she's actually better because the digi thread is actually out of the crafter now, so you can't actually craft that anymore. So you're able to use your smokes a lot more effectively, so she actually technically gets more damage, or like not really damage, but like more utility out of her smokes. So if anything, she kind of got buffed because of that.
I think I heard someone.
Bloodhound, I think, is still really good. A+ tier, especially if you're solo queuing. He's just a no-brainer, just like brain dead. Easy, straightforward legend to play. Pretty much plays the game for you. Catalyst got some major nerfs. Normally I'd probably put Catalyst like A+ tier, even like an S tier. She got hit with some really huge nerfs this patch. I think they really over-nerfed her, but I'm not going to be too mad because she's rumored to get an heirloom here within the next 1 or 2 seasons. And then you know they're going to buff her back to where she was, just to sell heirlooms like they always do with a lot of legends. But they really over-nerfed her this patch. I think they changed her Dark Veil to where it doesn't last nearly as long, and it does not go on cooldown until it's actually done. You're not able to like recharge your ult until it's done. They reduced the distance on her tactical, and you're only able to put down 2 instead of 3 tacticals now. Piercing quills, so piercing spikes. There was one other thing too. I think I'm not sure if it was her passive or there was some other small thing too that they might have nerfed about. I forgot which one it was, but way over nerfed. I think they really over nerfed Catalyst. I don't think she's like bad. Like I still think she's average. I think she's balanced now. You could argue before she was a little bit over the edge, but I don't know. As somebody that plays the shit out of Catalyst, I didn't even think she was really that broken. If anything, I think her passive, like being able to seal the doors, was like the best thing about her. I really do, and that never even really got changed. Said everything else got changed, and that was, I don't know, kind of questionable. If there was one legend in this entire season, I think that had the most questionable balance changes. I think it was for Catalyst because I think she got way over nerfed. Caustic, I'm going to put an A+ tier. If you want a defensive legend now, I think Caustic is the best one. I think he's a little bit more consistent than Catalyst actually is now. I really do. Apart from that, nothing's really changed, just mainly because the best like controller legend got nerfed, some really heavy nerfs, and then Caustic's a little bit better because of it. Crypto, I don't know. If you're solo queuing, Crypto's bad. Like, he's just not good. If you want to sit there and revive your team the entire game, and with the respawn changes, being able to get your weapons back and stuff off respawn, it's a little bit better. But if you're going to be sitting in your drone and playing babysitter all game, you're just wasting your time. You're better off just playing for yourself and then trying to solo your way to end game instead of trying to babysit your team. Fuse, I'm going to put in at about, I don't know, I'll put him at an A tier. I think he's balanced right now. Nothing with him has really changed since last season. Gibraltar, I'm going to put at an A tier. I think he's balanced, nothing crazy. He's being played a little bit more because you're seeing a lot less Crypto being played and a little bit less Mad Maggie, which are two of the main checks to him, but I still think it's kind of balanced. Horizon's still S tier, crazy good. Crazy good. She's a little bit worse if you know how to counter her ult by just like shooting at her ult and getting rid of it right away, but if you're able to get a free ult off, you're pretty much able to guarantee at least one free kill every fight. It's crazy. Lifeline, I think, is still really, really good. I think she's, I don't know if I'd put her like above an A tier. I think I'll put her in an A tier. I think she's still really, really good, but apart from that, nothing's really changed. Loba, I'll put in S tier. I think she's still the best support legend in the game, and if anything, she actually got buffed with the respawn changes, because she's able to respawn her teammates and everybody gets their weapons and stuff back off respawn. And she's also able to give them loot and get their attachments back, hopefully off respawn. Especially late game with everybody's getting their death boxes looted and that type of thing, you're able to get a bunch of free stuff back. Mad Meg, I'm going to put in an A tier. She's fallen down a little bit, I'm not quite sure why. And another reason why I think she's going to fall off a little bit more, at least for this season, is because one of the main things that she would actually check was Catalyst, because she was being played a lot, and the Riot Drill was able to really be used to knock down her fortified doors and that type of thing, especially when they're trying to fortify a building. She was really good for that, and Catalyst got really heavily nerfed this patch. So you might not see as much Catalyst, at least for the start of the season. So that kind of makes Mad Maggie a little bit worse, but still really, really good. I think she's balanced right now. I wouldn't really change much about her at all. Mirage, I'm going to put it at D tier. Needs some major buffs, just really bad. Newcastle got some buffs this patch, but he's still one of the lowest like play rate heroes or play rate legends in the entire game. There's a reason why, and it's just because he's just so fucking boring to play. And the guy has a fucking personality of a fucking box of rocks. If only his character was actually, like, I don't know, I wouldn't say, like, as boring or, like, different. I don't know, I think his design ain't bad, but, like, his personality, at least as, like, a legend, is really boring. I think that's one of the reasons why people don't really want to play him either. There's just so many cooler legends to play in the game, why would you ever play Newcastle? And his kit just really isn't the funnest either. If you just want to sit there and babysit your team the entire game, I guess, he's fine, but if you want to do that, just play Lifeline. Even then, you can just sit and revive people when you can actually still fight. Or play Conduit, which kind of does the same thing even better. I don't know. Even with the buffs, he's just not going to be played. Octane, I put an A+ tier. He has one of the highest play rates in the entire game for a reason. He probably still will. After everybody quits playing Conduit at the start of the season, he's going to rise back up in probably like the top 3 or top 4 highest play rates, like usual. Same with Pathfinder, putting him at A+ tier. There's going to be people that say Pathfinder's hitbox is too big, but if you're solo queuing, and especially if you're like your lower to mid tiers are ranked, you know what you're actually doing with Pathfinder, you can easily kind of negate that very easily. It's only when you get into like higher tiers, like crazy type lobbies, with people just able to beam you out of the air and that type of thing, where his hitbox becomes an issue. Rampart, I think, is pretty bad. C tier. The problem with Rampart, she just gets dove by everything. It takes too long to set up, and then by the time you're able to set up, you either have to rotate into a new circle, if you're not set up in the circle, or you have to rotate to a different fight, or like everybody's just diving on you. That's the problem with her. She's really fun to play. If this was a fun to play tier list, I'd put her way higher, but I just don't think she's that good. I really don't. Revan, I think, is still incredibly good. I'm putting Revan in S tier. They nerfed his ult from, I think, the duration you have to get your shield back, or by getting a knock. I think they nerfed it from 30 seconds down to 3 seconds. But his ult is so good anyways that it doesn't really even matter. It was way over buffed the way it was already when he got reworked. it was way overdue that it finally got changed, and even then he's still really, really good. If you want a really like brain dead legend to play that just really, really good, play Revenant. Seer's fallen off. I think he still can be decently good if you're incredibly good at him, but I think he's kind of fallen off, and there's like really no reason to play him over Bloodhound, but when Bloodhound is way easier to play and you get way more value out of him right now. Valkyrie I think is still really good. Put her at an A+ tier, especially for solo queuing. If this is like a 100% like full-on solo queue tier list, like I'd probably say Valkyrie is probably like the best solo queue legend in the entire game. If this was like that type of list, but just mainly because whenever you're in danger, you can just rocket jetpack away and just go into the sky and just rotate whenever you want freely. You don't have to worry about anything. But if you want like a really good solo queue legend, I think Valkyrie is probably the best one in the game. I really do. I think she's still incredibly good. Especially with her passive. I think the main thing about her is being able to just fly from low to high ground with her passive, and her jetpack is still incredibly good. I would buff her tactical, though I think her tactical is kind of weak, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think there's a lot more other priorities balance-wise that they need to do with the game, stuff like Ashe and a few other things that they need to work on first. Vantage got some buffs. Vantage got a buff to her sniper for this patch. I'm gonna put her at A+ tier. I think she's still really, really good. Incredibly good. Especially solo queuing. She got a buff to her sniper from 5 ammo up to 6. Not really the buff I think she really needed. I think the one buff she kind of needed was if you get a down with her sniper rifle, I think they should have gave you like a 1 or 2 ammo refund on her ult, or like increase the charge rate of every shot you get with your sniper. I think that's what they should have gave her. But a 6 ammo up from a 5, still really, really good. And there's a decent amount of charge towers on Storm Point and some of the maps that are in rotation, like Broken Moon and Olympus, where you can actually charge your ult from a charge tower sometimes. So, especially with ult accelerants, they're pretty common. Watson, I think, is A tier. Nothing with her has really changed since last season. Just going to put her average because she's kind of balanced. And then Wraith got buffed again. She's still one of the best legends in the entire game. I don't know why they buffed her passive because she just did not even need any like changes. I don't know. Incredibly small hitbox. Really just like squishy to try to like get out of situations she's not supposed to be in. Really slimy, and you're not able to like lock her down very easily. Crazy good ult, being able to rotate your team or yourself. Really good tactical. Like, she has everything you want. I don't know why they even buffed her passive. It was a decent change, but don't know why she needed that when there's a few other legends in the game. I think they could be checking out, at least for balance wise. Apart from that, that is the entire legends tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and let me know you guys your own tier list down in the comments as well. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your guys' own. Apart from that, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If this video does well, if you guys do want a weapons tier list, I will bring you guys one. If this video does well. If this video does not do well, then I don't think I'll be doing one this season, just because mainly a lot of the weapons didn't really change. There's a few different care package weapons, but apart from that, I feel like a lot of the weapons, compared to last season, nothing really changed at all that much. So I don't know if it's really worth doing an entire video over it, but if you guys want one and this video does well, I'll bring you guys a weapons tier list in the next, week or two. So apart from that, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future video.